Hello and welcome. So let's talk. If we were following a normal schedule this year, what I was planning to talk about and do a video on today was the release of Soul. And as we all know, that got pushed back a long time ago. But originally it was supposed to be released this weekend on June 19th. And I thought it was still important to talk about it because even though we can't review it, when I realized when it was released and all the things that have been happening within the last couple of months, it made a lot of sense. I don't know if it's coincidental or if it was on purpose. I would like to think it's on purpose because it would make it really cool, but as we all know at this point that June 19th is Juneteenth Day, and a lot of people have been pushing for it to be a national holiday, which is phenomenal and very important and something that I definitely never learned about growing up, and a lot of people haven't. So I like to think that Pixar had some insight, especially with the film, and wanted to release it then in honor of Juneteenth. I could be wrong, but we really don't know. I bring this up because I have been really excited to see Soul, and I can't wait till it gets released in November, and I will be checking it out first thing that I can. It has an amazing cast already, and even from the trailer I just feel like I'm going to be bawling, but I love the setup of it. I love music, and so just having this whole film about music and soul and finding yourself, it kind of is really reflective to what is going on in this world. And I know I don't really want to talk about politics on this. I feel like politics with a Disney themed channel don't always go along the lines together. They're kind of on parallel universes where they're not going to intertwine, but so much has been changed due to not only politics but because of the virus and because of everything in this world. So I figured instead of the planned Pixar review, I thought it was the perfect time to just sit down and open up a discussion with you guys about the changes from Soul and the future of Pixar as well. Short and sweet, as we know, most industries have gotten shut down. The facts are most of the Disney parks have been closed for a while. It's a monumental historical event that we're all going through, and we still don't know how the parks are going to be after they do open. And hospitality has been shut down, entertainment for the most part has been shut down, all the live action films have been shut down, and television has been shut down, and basically anything in entertainment. But when it comes to animation, there has been so much more has been able to be done because you're all at computers anyways, and the computers are accessible at home and their programs are accessible at home. That's the one industry that has been able to be successful and actually get ahead of schedule compared to everyone else. And I think that's really cool and a positive thing that's come out of everything. And there hasn't been too much Pixar animation talked about. Soul was the only movie that we currently know about because Pixar likes to keep things really hidden and down low, and that's understandable, but they're kind of worse than Marvel in terms of not knowing what the next projects are. In fact, when I went to research this, I only saw that they have about 4 films coming out within the next 3 years, and they do have the release dates, but that's literally it. They don't have anything else about them, so I can't even discuss what's going to happen with these films. But it'll be interesting to see what happens when they're able to release and when the trailers can come out and how much work they'll be able to get done, and if they'll maybe possibly do some more originals for Disney Plus. That is another platform that they're on. I also wouldn't be surprised if this case, especially with Disney Plus, because a lot of their originals have been pushed back. We still don't know what's happening with a lot of their fall slated programs that were supposed to come on. Maybe they're going to switch around and ask more from Pixar because animation is the one industry that seems to be thriving in a positive way right now. I do love about Pixar is how diverse their storytellings are, and that even with their shorts we have a lot of different characters that all have come from all different walks of life. And even with the Spark shorts that they just came out with, they're a lot more open to dialogue. And we don't know what's happening with Soul. We don't know the plot point yet, but I'm really, really excited to see how this can go. And because it is focused on a black man as the main character in like an awesome way, and because of the movement that's happening right now, which needs to happen because everyone needs to be equal. And that's something that I should be able to say without any controversy. I actually wouldn't be surprised, even though I do want them to release it in November, but because we don't know what's happening with everything in this world right now, that if they do push it back to February and make it in alignment with Black History Month, I think that'd be really cool. If that had to happen, obviously we want to be able to see it as soon as possible. We want things to get back to a healthier, better sense on life, but that's something that I could see them doing if they have to shift it back a little bit. I don't know if they would put it on demand. And that's another thing too, that's a side note, is that we've gotten a couple of films on demand already that were supposed to be theatrical releases, and Disney is just throwing it on their platform for you to watch, which is great because I got to watch Artemis Fowl, and I'm not even discussing that because that was a trash film and I love Josh Gad. And that just, and yeah, there was no words. It wasn't good. It reminded me of Santa Claus with the elves, but not trying to be funny. It was trying to be serious. So it was a fail. I'm curious of how they're judging their films and why they released Artemis Fowl early compared to leaving Soul be pushed back. And if they noticed that Artemis Fowl wasn't that great and they were just like, screw this, throw it on there just so people can see it, even though it took them years to develop. And we know Soul took years to develop as well. So I can't really judge how they're choosing their films, because even Mulan, the remake of Mulan, they also pushed that back, and we don't know if they're going to just throw it up on Disney Plus, depending on how things are going to continue to go. A lot of my discussion that I have about Soul, I do want to wait until I can actually properly review it whenever it comes, but when it does, just know that I will be here for it. And I'm excited to continue the dialogue about Soul then, as well as possibly being able to compare it to other important stories from the past. I just know that this probably isn't going to delay Pixar's releases, and they always seem to have a release in June. Now they have, at least we got Onward. Onward did make it, and it wasn't strictly Pixar, it was Pixar and Disney collaborating together, but I did see that there's a March release in the next couple of years, so I wonder if that's the same thing, that it's going to be another Pixar-Disney collaboration, just not Pixar. Just wanted to open a discussion up this time because, like, we know there's not too many answers that we know. There's a lot of questions that we have, but it's safe to say Pixar will continue on track, if not ahead of schedule, and it would be cool if they do start being able to release a lot more short stories and be able to speed up their schedule to for the lack of what Disney's able to produce, but we don't know anything. So this is where I ask you what you guys are going to think of everything. My question is, what do you think the future of Pixar is going to be for the next couple of years? And what do you think the future of Disney is going to be for the next couple of years? And I'll discuss that more when we get more answers about the park specifically, because once we get a couple of answers, it'll be able to have a better discussion. But at least we can start things off with Pixar, and we'll eventually get that review going. But until then, I hope you guys have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.